Oh. Oh. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Young Dad Game Reviews, the series where I reminisce, review, and recount the games that I grew up on, as well as decide when or if my son grew up on the same games, and which ones should be avoided for now, due to extreme violence, suggestive themes, and or because the game just sucks. Next up, Nightmare on Elm Street for NES.
You forgot the power glove! Beat my high score.
If you've seen my other videos, it goes without saying that I love the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but more than that, I love Freddy Krueger / Robert Englund. An absolute horror icon and one hell of a guy. My script editor Christy even got me a signed autograph from Mr. Englund himself, which is one of my most prized possessions. She's also the one who requested that I do this review, and because she's one hell of a gal, here it is.
In my dreams, I'm beautiful and bad.
As the NES was before my time, I never actually grew up with one, and I've only ever played a handful of games from that era, as I grew up more on the SNES. And as much as I hated it, I had to play this game on an emulator, but I would love to own a physical copy one day. Did I enjoy myself with this game, or is its notoriety for being bad warranted? Well, let's 1, 2, get to the review, and 3, 4, see what's in store, bitch! You play an unnamed teenager. Let's call him Ken for the sake of this review. You need to find Freddy's bones and burn them in the high school furnace. Why? Don't know. It could either be because you're living at good old 1428 Elm Street.
You've got the body. I've got the brain.
Or maybe your parents were part of the posse that killed him. Or you're pregnant and he wants to turn your baby into him. That last one is probably unlikely though.
It's a boy!
Not much is really explained, but many NES games never were. You were just given enough to push yourself from point A to point B. The overall design of this game is legitimately quite fun. Everything felt like you were going through some twisted carnival attraction or, boo, haunted house. And the charm of it definitely shone through. Like how the male and female sprites look like A.C. Slater and Kelly Kaprowski from Saved by the Bell. Thank you, Christy, for that reference, as I'm not familiar with that show either. While we're talking about the visuals, let's mention all the references they make in this game. I like how they use the junkyard from Nightmare Part 3, though I wish the boss was a walking skeleton instead of a skeleton bat. Kind of a missed opportunity there.
Why must you fail me so often? Ribs! Spare ribs! Fuck!
We've also got Freddy's floating head that spits out tongues at you from Nightmare 3, and Freddy's floating hand from Nightmare 4. There's also what appears to be a ghost Freddy, and this is my own interpretation, but instead of a ghost, I thought this one was from the scene where he starts to press and stretch through the wall above a sleeping Nancy. Ugh, I still love this shot and the practical effects. Let me also take this moment to say that I have been absolutely in love with Heather Langenkamp because of this movie to this day. Oh god, I love her. Easiest thing to say about the audio is, it's not the kind of music you'd think you'd be hearing in a horror game, but it's not just some 5-second loop with some interesting effects to add a creepy twist to it. Each level has its own soundtrack. The best is when your character is asleep and you hear the Freddy theme creeping in and warning you that Freddy's coming. I actually love this song. Normally, this should have been extremely intense if Freddy wasn't so easily dealt with. Other than that, the tune they play from the boombox to wake you up is a pretty fun song to listen to and would probably make a good alarm. The game was surprisingly fun to play, even though the controls were a little janky. I also know this game can be played with up to 4 players using a multi-tap for the NES called the NES 4-score. I would love to try this out sometime. Because this game is really difficult with just 1 player, it'd probably be so much easier with a few more. I got through the first 3 houses in the junkyard without losing a life, unless I fell into a pit, but then after that I just kept dying and losing all my continues. With a friend, I'm sure you can get through it much easier. So, why was this game so difficult? Well, in the regular world, when your character is awake, all you can do is this Diet Coke Double Dragon Punch.
You're the Diet Coke of evil.
On some snakes, zombies, dogs, cats, bats, rats, and other creepy crawlers. The worst are the flying enemies, especially when you're on a lower platform and have multiple ones coming at you. You just can't punch them all in time. Luckily, once you fall asleep, you can transform if you've been picking up the dream tokens. You can change into an acrobat, a shadow warrior,
Go ninja, go ninja, go! Go ninja, go ninja, go! Go ninja, go ninja, go!
or a necromancer.
I'm an adult virgin.
Each has their own unique abilities. I found the Shadow Warrior to be the best due to his jump kick ability. The bad thing is you need to be on the same exact level as the flying enemies to hit them. Also, getting hit and flying backwards into a pit is it's bullshit. It's bullshit!
Holy shit! Shit! Bullshit! Shit! 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 Shit!
To progress through the game, you need to collect all of Freddy's bone. Yeah, I said that right. Once you collect all in the area, you can progress and fight the boss of that area. And then the final boss is just all the bosses you've already faced. Literally. I tried my best, and I really tried to beat this game legit. But after multiple attempts and about 4 hours later, I succumbed to the save states. So, as I've never played it before, what did I think of it? To be honest, I quite enjoyed playing this game. Like, for real, it was a lot of fun. Just frustrating in some areas, but this issue can be overlooked if you're playing with a friend or with friends. In fact, if you did play this with a group of friends, I think this would be a fantastic sofa game. A lot of issues I've heard people complain about, like weak attacks or bad attack range, backwards falling after taking damage, not enough continues, and so forth, I've seen in so many other games. But just because it shares the same sins, I don't think this game deserves the hate that it gets. The game isn't unfair, and you can learn Freddy's patterns or different tactics to beat the game. If it was too easy, it would just be insulting. Overall, I give Nightmare on Elm Street for NES 3 tonguey telephones out of 5. It doesn't extremely suck, but it doesn't extremely rock either. It's just a fun experience for an hour, and it'd be an even more fun experience with friends. As for games I would let my son play, I'd give this one an absolutely. I can see myself side by side playing this game with my son and just having a good time. Hopefully that would also instill my love for Robert Englund in him. Even though it's based off of an R-rated horror film, there's no extreme violence, gore, or suggestive themes in the game. It's just good fun. As for nostalgic value, I don't really have any, but I know somebody who does, and I'll let her tell you all about it.
My love for all things horror is boundless, and started at a young age. And one such horror series and villain that holds a special place in my little dark heart is A Nightmare on Elm Street and its iconic villain, Freddy Krueger, portrayed by the legendary actor Robert Englund. Being of the NES generation and a gamer myself, I played as many games as I could get my hands on. I wasn't old enough to see the film when it originally came out, but I did see it on TV at night when I was supposed to be sleeping. So when I saw the game on the rental rack at our local video rental store, I of course asked to play it. Let me tell you, that game is fucking hard. Back then, many rental places only loaned you the game cartridge. No instruction manual, no box, no nothing. There were no online walkthroughs or full strategy guides. I only had Nintendo Power magazines with hints, and you could bet your sweet ass my parents would never pay for a 9-year-old me to call a hints hotline. $2.99 a minute? That's my lunch money right there. Without a manual, a game was sometimes like watching a foreign language film with no subtitles.
Jai boo Claude. Slepou le la lou blah blue.
Game direction and dream tokens had no explanation in the game, and you had to experiment with button pushing to figure out how to activate the tokens and what each one did. Like Ken, I also liked the Ninja Dream Warrior, and I was pretty decent in using the flying kicks. But reminiscing about the game during the script editing process, however, caused my thumbs to ache and twitch from the trauma of gripping the controller and getting blisters from the D-pad and the A and B buttons. Many days of game rentals and deaths later, I did eventually beat the game. What the ending was, I honestly can't remember, but the nostalgia for me was the different iterations of Freddy that you got to fight in the game. In every Nightmare film that came out, I always looked forward to what different Freddy forms they could come up with, so for me, the bosses were my favorite part of the game. I also liked the idea of the sleep meter, and how constantly moving and collecting cups of coffee could slow it down, but falling asleep would be inevitable. The Dream Warriors you can use in the game were a fun idea, but a little boring. I mean, throwing a javelin, and what does Wizard Man do again? Yeah, whatever. So for nostalgia value, I give this game 3 Freddy TVs out of 5. It's fun, and it's fun with friends. But, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below for games you'd like to see on this channel, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell if you'd like to be notified. Also, don't forget to check out Ellie's... I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. And if you like this theme song, don't forget to check out Ellie's channel in the description below. Our Stripped Down Horror Halloween is still beginning. The fuck was it? Our Stripped Down Horror Halloween is continuing, and we've got 2 more videos left to go for this month. Stick around, and I hope you guys enjoy. See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye! Oh, this one's a fucking pain in my ass.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got him too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. To stick together we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got